Evening everybody, Rich here, back for another From the Depths sinking ship video, and this is, well, instead of sinking, it's destroying the SS Deborah. This is another one of my Minecraft conversions, and it's one of my early Minecraft ships, well, tutorials anyway. It's one I released, I think, in I think it was either 2013 or late 2012. I made a tutorial for this thing. It was quite popular at its time, but it's sort of faded away now, and it's not really that talked about anymore. Another one of those forgotten tutorials. But it was called, I think it was just called a cruise ship tutorial. I didn't really name it in the tutorial, but this was the finished product, and it's not really a cruise ship. It's more of a yacht, as you can tell. It's not big enough to be a cruise ship, really. It's just an abomination, really. Depends what part of the shipbuilding community you are part of. Some people like it, some people absolutely hate it. Well, the shipbuilding community is quite poisonous at times, but I tend to avoid that part. Yeah, this is a straight conversion, basically. I've made a few changes over the years. I mean, the back portion here is more open and slightly different, and also the yellow line is now red. But overall, it's basically the same thing. It's not been modified too much for From the Depths. It's got partitioned watertight doors, and that's pretty much it, really. There's no propellers, there's no propulsion in this thing, there's no engines. It's basically a mule for the purpose of being destroyed. So I did say it's a sinking ship video, but it's a destroying video. So the reason for that is the bow of the ship is packed with explosives, so that is going to be fun. Sort of learning from the Kaiserville video, where things can actually break off quite funnily. And also the funnel is stacked, well, not stacked, but it has a couple of nuclear devices inside, which will be fun. So that when they get hit, this thing will go up like Chernobyl on a April evening. So here we go. Also, I really shouldn't say that, it's a bit mean, really. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. So yeah, let's get to the point. We've got the Mamba again, the abomination that this thing is, and what we're going to do, we're going to aim at the funnel first, just to get rid of that thing, because it's a pretty hated ship. So we'll start with the funnel. So that's where the nuclear bombs are, so we're going to fire at that. Once they get the gun aimed, so there we go. And this should be quite funny. Oh, there we go. And that was a big blast. Something flew off over here as well. I don't know what it was. But that's the funnel gone, and quite a bit below it as well. That was, that was quite a big blast. That was. That's what's that? One, two, three, four. Down 5 decks that went. That's quite impressive. And yeah, quite good that. Yeah. Any pieces come off below? I don't think any fell out the bottom. No, I think we're fine. So those nuclear bombs done their job. Right, so now what we're going to do now is head to the bow, because the bow is another place where explosives are stored, and we're going to aim about, I don't know, roughly about there, I think. We'll see how we get on. Oh yeah, there we go. That's lifted the ship right out the water. And everything is exploding around it. Right, there we go. And that was a bigger blast than I expected, but that has cleanly blown the bow off, I think. And yeah, it's done a line in there as well. It's blown the heavy armor open. So that's the bow is now detached, and yeah, the bow's now falling apart, and that will sink. Yeah, the bow is now gonna travel slowly to the seabed in lots of pieces. Rather therapeutic sinking ships, or destroying them in this case. Right, so that's the bow gone, and now it's heading for the depths, and it's breaking up as it does so. The light pieces will rise to the surface, the heavy pieces will go straight down. So what we have here, we now have half a cruise ship with a pile of rubble in front of it. So that's always a good sign. The cranes here are detached, but they will fall off in a minute. They're sort of now separate from that, but also separate from that. So they should fall off. There we go. That's 2 pieces gone, and there goes the arms and the rest. Right, there we go. It's kind of a clean break. And the damage, Jesus. And yeah, the compartments have been blown open, but the rest of them are dry as a bone. And there's the what's left of the bow. It's still trying to sink, and there's the forepeak of it. Yeah, the big chunks are going down, but the rest of it's sort of floating and turning over. So that'll disappear in a minute. Alright, so now we're down to what we have. We're going to start with the torpedo. There we are. We're going to turn off the big gun, and we're going to launch a few torpedoes, because it's fun. And over she tips. Oh, some more ammunition just exploded. There's some in the stern. Yeah, there's a few ammunition boxes in the stern, and of course now that's been blown open, and the ship is right down in the water. Where's the bow go? That's at the bow. Oh, there's some pieces down there, so the bow is pretty much gone now. And the ship is in a bit of a precarious state. I just want to go check the stern, what damage was actually done. Oh, all that piece there. So all that compartment there has been blown open. That's breached 2 compartments, or 4 if you like. Yeah, that's done quite a good job there. So that's all that done. I just keep looking at that chasm there. Look at that. Like a reactor exploded. Right, so that's that. On the subject of sinking ships, somebody did ask me why I don't just open all the compartments up and let the ship sink. There is a reason for that. That's some of the ships that I have, when they've been converted, they don't float very well, so I have to change some of the materials from metal to light alloy. And of course, light alloy doesn't sink very well, so opening the compartments on their own will sink the ship slightly, but it won't completely submerge the ship because of the light alloy. So blasting the ship enough to remove enough light alloy will cause the ship to sink. That's the reason for it. Ships like my Titanic, and I think there's a couple of others as well, they will sink without being destroyed. They will sink because the materials that were used. It's a compromise on their design, but they will sink if you just open one compartment, or open all the compartments up without damaging the ship. So that's the reason for all the destruction. Also quite entertaining as well, but where's the member there? But that's the reason for the amount of destruction. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to turn the ship a bit more and fire a few more torpedoes just to get back to the subject of sinking ships. Let's sink a few more, or sink this one. Not a few more, just sink this one. And she tips a bit more. I'm sort of thinking, will she roll over? I don't think she will. But she will. Well, there ain't much left of her already. I mean, look at that, it's completely blown open there. Stern's not too bad. So basically just keep pummeling away until something does happen. And another lurch there. So this ain't really going to be a long video, this is going to take a few minutes. It's not like the Queen Mary, which took nearly 40 minutes. This is doing quite well. Minus a bow, of course. Fire a few more. Oh, that was a huge blast there. And down she goes again. Another bridge is underwater. Which the whole ship is completely destroyed in that area. Right. And fire a few more. Once they've reloaded. Go. And down she goes again. So what we have left is basically just this. It's a badly designed stern, and even that's in the water. Look, we've got the water here between, in these doors here, and it ain't long now. So we just fire a few more torpedoes. And down she tips a bit more. So I think we might have done enough now. The ship is slowly tipping forward, I think. Yeah, you can see if we just sit here, the ship is tipping forward. And I think she's finally given up. We're in quite a shallow part of the sea as well. There's not a... I must say she's in quite a shallow part, but it's actually still quite a deep area. That's blown that way, so I thought she might hit the sea bottom quite early, but I don't think she will. If we just look here. Oh, we've actually gone beyond the shallow part. The shallow part's up here, but the ship is now in the deep part, and there's a large piece of ship down the bottom there, a bit of the bottom of the ship. We'll just fire a few more torpedoes just to get the job done. I don't think there's any more ammunition inside. I think she is as good as she's going to be. Let's have a look inside. Oh, actually, there's 3 tactical nukes there, which will, if they're hit, will explode. But the ammunition that was in the air is gone. So those are quite nasty if they do get damaged. So because they were inside the funnel as well. So if I can hit them, that'd be catastrophic. But she's just going down gracefully now, so I don't really want to do any more damage, but the temptation is there. You've got 3 nuclear bombs there, so I'm going to have a go anyway. So if they get hit, then so be it. Nope, they missed. I'm not sure how they missed. I mean, they're there. I mean, there's a very big temptation there. So if we just reload, and then we can fire a few more. Come on, Mamba. Come on, Mamba. There we go. Right, see if she can hit this time. And still no. Those are in quite a well positioned place, really. They're on a heavy armoured slab, and they're not getting hit. So what I'm going to try and do is not really do anything. Is just fire more torpedoes until the things do explode. Let's fire a few more. See what happens. Damn you, Mamba! You missed. But Deborah's gone. She's now heading for the seabed. She's going down quite quick now as well. And she's going to hit the bottom pretty quickly. There isn't really much left down there. Huge amounts of damage. Not really a ship anymore, just sort of a dropping turd. The bridge is still on there though, and the right side, or the left side of the ship is still relatively intact. There's a block attached to the side as well, which I don't know why. Overall, not too bad. Let's fire a few more torpedoes, because some will hit her. And if they hit the dam, oh, I don't think they will. They're just going to head for the bow. Damn you! I mean, they're there. I want to destroy them. I just aim at them there. Put the target on there. There come the torpedoes. Let's see what hits. Remember's going down a hell of a lot quicker now. Still no. Ah. Oh well, I think she's won. There's a ghostly silhouette there. You can see the ghost of the ship, and when you get close, you can see the true horror of it all. And from there, you can see the funnel, the mast, everything. When you get close, it's not there. And she's still got quite a way to go till she hits the seabed, so I'll just keep firing those torpedoes, and maybe one to hit those. But I think she's too low now. Yeah, I think most of them have been caught in the blast of their own torpedoes. or the other torpedoes. So there's not really much point trying now. She's going to the bottom nonetheless. I guess they just have to be the undamaged or the highly dangerous. So if you ever dive a shipwreck or dive a warship and you still see the ammunition on board, get the hell out of there because you never know what's going to happen. Well, she is quite low below the surface now. There she is. And the Mamba is... Where is the Mamba? The Mamba's there. You can really see though the size difference. The Mamba is, well, because of the ship's below the waterline there, you can't really tell the difference. The Deborah is actually bigger than what she is shown there, but the Mamba is actually quite big in comparison to the Deborah. Look at it from that side, it's destroyed. From that side, it's fine, minus a bow. And pieces still rise to the surface. There was one that was rising. I don't know where. There it is. There's a piece. There's probably a few more hundred down there as well, which want to break off. I think she slowed down as well. She's not heading. Well, she's not sinking as fast now, so she's not far away from the bottom. I don't really want to drag this video out too long, but anyway, let's fire a few torpedoes. Help the situation along. I think some are still coming down. But still, they hold on. And that's basically just a heavy armoured slab they're sat on there. I mean, they're exposed to the elements. The torpedoes just can't hack it, or the torpedoes are being caught and blast of other torpedoes. That's the problem. I need to put a timer on those torpedoes just to sort of reduce that happening. So I'll send a few more. You can really see how far away they are because they're right up there on the surface. There they are. And then there's the other ones which come down and attack. But still, the tactical nukes are mocking me. There isn't much left of Deborah now. She is sort of crumbled to nothing, and she is right above the seabed now. She's just coming down, and there's some pieces there. I think that was the bow, or part of the bow. I'm not sure, but there were some heavy armoured pieces down here, I think. No, I think they've all disappeared now. The ship is coming down. Fire a few more torpedoes, and hopefully one will come down and hit in the right place. There they go. Still no. I suppose because the angle of the ship isn't helping either. The angle is turned towards the Mamba, so the torpedo hit the area above the bombs before they get hit. So it's not going to work very well. But we'll keep firing anyway. Up there on the surface. Right there they are. I don't know what the percentage is left. How what's left of her? She is down to 29% of her total mass now. That is complete destruction, basically. And she is now on the seabed. She's just got to sort of curve around that mound there, and she'll be settled. We'll fire a few more torpedoes, nonetheless. We've got to get those tactical nukes destroyed. And most of the torpedoes destroyed themselves there. That's a problem. But we're gradually removing all the pieces. I mean, some pieces are now bent, but we just need to remove enough of this cover to get those nukes. And Deborah's rising again. That's because of the explosion. Now she's coming back down again. Head to the surface a minute, because I want to get an idea of where the Mamba. The Mamba's there, and the ship's down there. So we turn Mamba a bit more towards Deborah again. And then we should get a decent shot. So we've just flop down again. Here comes the torpedoes again. Still no. What a bastard. I guess you're going to end up with very small pieces of the ship machine sort of clattering along the seabed now because you're trying to settle. There is nothing left. There's a lifeboat though, which is surprising. Or half a lifeboat. But the rest is just pieces. Never mind, we'll fire a few more torpedoes, cheers me up. And what do we get? We had a shot directly above the area in question, but still no. That's a pain in the ass. She's rolling over as well, which doesn't help. Fire a few more. Nope. I think those torps are aiming more at the body of the ship. They're aiming too far forward now, 'cause there's nothing here on the stern now, so they're just aiming for the superstructure. Which is a shame, but never mind. I mean, there isn't much left of the superstructure now. It's all blown open. Well, there's no superstructure at all now. Just a few specks of white. And the rest is... the lifeboat's just fallen off. Now, will that rise or will that sink? It's a bit caught on a piece there. So will that break off and rise up, or will it just fall to the bottom? Oh, it's just breaking up now, so that's knackered that. But Deborah's not moving now. She is now settled on the seafloor. She is now confirmed as a shipwreck. Although saying that, her stern is still settling gradually. Now she's bouncing back up again. Come on. Right, settle. No, I think that's why she's sort of stuck on the side of the mound there. So she can't really sink anymore. She is now perched on the side of a chasm, basically. So that is what's left of the SS Deborah, or the MS Deborah originally called. And that piece is not attached, so that should fall off in a minute as well. So there she is, what's left. She is dead, destroyed, and dangerous still because of those 3 tactical nukes on board. So yeah, that's that. Now a fitting end to what was a pretty ship in some respect. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Not really sure what else to do. I've got a few other ships I can sink as well. I've got Bittern, Laconia and Celtic I can sort of convert across and destroy them. But I will see. And on the subject of uploading these ships to what is it? Steam Workshop. I'm still thinking about it. But I know, I got shouted down the last time I done it because I uploaded the Andrea Dora and I just got a load of abuse when I done it. So I'm sort of tempted to do it, but don't really want to. But I'll see. I'm not going to be this week anyway, but we'll see about uploads. But the Mamba probably will be uploaded. I've got to do a bit of tidying up before I do, but we'll see. But anyway, this is Rich signing off, logging off, and disappearing, and laughing at the Deborah down there. Just see the silhouette down there of the red. So yeah, this is me disappearing, and I shall return with another video. So bye for now.